Testing audio, testing audio. Testing audio, testing audio. Working on, before we get going here, just doing a little bit of noise filtering here. We're getting some noise. Testing audio, testing audio. Working on, before we get going here, just doing a little bit of noise filtering here. We're getting some noise. Testing audio, testing audio. Okay, and we're going to test one more once again. Looks pretty good on my meter. Okay, and we're going to test one more once again. Looks pretty good on my meter. Okay, I think we're ready. Okay, and we're going to test one more once again. Okay, and we are live on Medieval Engineers. I think I've got the audio optimized pretty well now, so that's good. Let me just check one more thing. Sorry about this. Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, welcome everybody to the Medieval Engineers live stream. On today's exciting episode, we are going to do a little bit of world documentation. Ooh, little lag there. Always a good way to start. Basically, my thoughts are this. So there's a lot of talk on the server about some changes coming up, and some of the issues have to do with server lag, and other issues have to do with like adopting new rules about how and where people can build and stuff like that. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned for two reasons. One, I'm concerned that the rule changes might affect my ability to continue building as I'm currently doing. But probably even more than that, I am concerned about the possibility that through updates to the game and possible server performance issues, might cause a desire on the part of some to reset the server here. And if they do that, then all of this beautiful work will be lost. I thought I saw a barbarian up here, that's why I'm up here. Getting tons and tons of lag right now. Okay. I think what I'm seeing are the scaffolding parts of my sort of surveying of the arches behind me there. I'm not going to worry about it for now. So on last episode, we did some work on, I think, primarily this tower here. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've streamed, so I think there's been a couple things that have happened. But, you know, we're going to go ahead and do just a couple things on today's stream. I'm just checking, making sure the chat room is available so I can see if somebody pops in there. Wants to ask me some questions or whatever, but probably not. This stream is, I'll tell you quite sincerely, that the point of making these videos is not necessarily for the audience participation and that sort of thing. Like some people, my channel is frankly not big enough to support that. Mostly it is for preserving a memory of this world and of me playing in it. And hopefully some other people will get some enjoyment or some interest out of that. God knows I've gotten a lot of interest out of other gamers playing games over the years. But hey, you know, this isn't for everybody, so if you don't like it, that's your choice. Ooh, I'm concerned that this world might crash. If it crashes, we'll resume the stream as soon as we get it loaded back up. Actually, I think it'll just take us to the... Yeah, here it goes. Yeah, so it's just going to take us to this game menu here. And that's fine. I guess while we're here, I can take the time to explain a couple things. I was just looking at my my video there. So, problem is we are in this server and it keeps crashing, and that is an ongoing issue. Some people think it's the mod, some people think it's ping from certain players, some people think it's this concept called clang, which is when the physics engine goes crazy in response to some sort of issue in the world. But who knows? They allegedly had a Christmas patch to this 0.6 version of Medieval Engineers. And that was back on the 19th. I think the last live stream was right around that time, actually. So, you know, there's been a few updates, but nothing, nothing serious since the 0.6 itself. A lot of servers out there now, and you can see the ones with low ping. See, this one has a lot of mods. See, I like the servers with a lot of mods. MStar always intrigued me, but you know, the other thing you should keep in mind is that you can go ahead and do a single-player world as well, and that's what those are. And you can get them from the workshop. You know, the Steam Community Workshop. I'm not sure if this is going to show up or not, but these are like scenarios and like weird builds that people have already made. Oh, that's neat. There's a High Garden. That's a Game of Thrones thing. But I'm really curious about this. That's a lot of stone. I'm not even sure if you're seeing that, but anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and not mess around with that. Let's go back to the Join World page, and we'll refresh that, get the sort by ping, and I'm not seeing Copper Hill yet. So we're waiting for that to load back up. It usually takes a couple minutes, so we'll just keep waiting. In the meantime, you can enjoy this beautiful background. The background is basically from the previous version of the game. It's not the single biome world, the single type of stone. A lot of talk about incorporating the sandstone blocks into the vanilla game. But I really like this creative dirt tool. It's a lot easier to use than your shovel. See what he did there? He built a dirt platform there. So I'd sure love to build a nice keep like that. That's really the main thing that I haven't done yet in my current castle, and that's one thing we're going to work on a little bit today. Okay, we're back. I wonder how far back it's going to take us. That's okay, though we didn't really do anything on camera yet. Okay, so it's loading back up. And takes a second because it has to load all those mods. Okay. So, yeah, I basically just put us right back to where we were before we started this entire stream. wonder if there's a way I can edit the stream after the fact, because wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to cut that out. Okay, so let's get down to business. On today's episode, I want to do a couple things. I'm going to do a little bit of farming, just kind of routine stuff, and then I'm going to work on something back here. See that gate? Yeah. And then the other thing I might do is just a little bit of adventuring. Adventuring in this game is somewhat limited. It's basically finding treasure. That's the best way to put it. Okay, so the way to do this, I find... Oh, and I've died since I last used my wardrobe, so I'm the red chick again. This is the default color that makes you wear red, and I find that it usually defaults to the woman model, but you know, not always. So we're just using our little tractor here to harvest this wheat. And then I think I might want to do a crop of herbs or maybe pumpkins, but something besides wheat. I'm getting sick of the wheat. Hope everybody had a good holiday. I did. It was very relaxing. I had a lot of time off. It was nice. Okay. And then we'll just come over here. This is not necessarily the easiest way to go about this. Automatic farms tend to get a little bit more press out there right now. Automatic farm being a type of farm where you would simply have a sort of rotating central axis with a radial plane, so it'd basically go around in a circle, and you'd use that to harvest and plant and so forth. We might actually make that at some point. The problem is the productivity would be a little bit lower because the size of the plot that this would happen on would have to be smaller necessarily. So you'd end up not being able to create massive harvests, and not that this is even that massive, but you know, it would limit our quantity in favor of ease of use. And so I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I think I'll probably do it, but it's just a question of when and how and where. I'll probably just do it in this main field here, but I'm not sure yet. And this method works pretty well, the one that I'm using right now. It's really not that hard. You just got to get used to the rope system for moving objects, for moving carts. But this is actually a very important skill to have anyway in this game, so I don't mind it so much. Okay, so as you can see, I've literally harvested every single wheat there with just that. The next step would be to turn the plow on, and then we'll go ahead and plow the field. I always typically start with the edges. Sometimes for some crops it's best to take the harvester off before planting. I'm talking specifically about berries, because berries will harvest right away if you have the harvester on the mechanism while you're trying to plant them. I'm not at the planting stage yet, by the way. I'm still at the plowing stage. There's little areas of this field that are a little trickier to access than others. But you can see the land changing under me as it gets plowed, so that's the main thing. And I use my body to manipulate the trajectory of the wheels a little bit, especially around corners, so I can get as much of the corner as possible plowed. Okay, so that's the main outside layer, and then we just kind of go inwards from here. Alright. And it's kind of like mowing a yard. You kind of overlap the previous layer a little bit. You don't have to do it too much, but I like to overlap a little bit so that I get a pretty good... Ooh, there's lag. So I get better coverage. Yeah, this lag is not good. And in fact, it's part of the reason, I think, that the server crashes sometimes. Okay, but I'm not sure if it's necessarily my fault. I think other people have much more crazy contraptions than what I'm working with here, so I think I'm okay, but I'm always cognizant of that this physics engine stuff is a little bit more intense on the server than just building with blocks would be, let's say. Okay, so we're almost all plowed. You can see there's this little reddish hue to the dirt that's still wild, that's unplowed. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I did see one little patch over here that I'd like to, you know, if you really want to, you can go back and manually do parts of it too. Like this. And you probably won't even be planting in all of these little nooks and crannies, but I'm just showing you a method that you can use when your machine doesn't have the ability to really do a good job getting all the little corners of your field. You can just manually plow those areas. Okay. And going back to my main view, I'm going to head to my granary. Wheat doesn't take up that much inventory space, fortunately, so I'm in good shape there. I think I might want to do pumpkins, because I only have 71. Maybe I'll do a mixture of pumpkins and flax. So 20 pumpkins worth, and then should I do herbs even? Yeah, let's do 15 or 30 herb seeds. Let's try that. We'll do flax next time. I'm basically trying to build up my reserves of various food items. I don't really need them, and certainly in terms of profit, berries are the best. But I think I want to go with this. So what you're going to do now is you're going to do a bunch of pumpkin seeds here. We'll do the same with the herbs. I'll do 30 of those. Okay, I doubled the amount of the pumpkin seeds that I needed. I don't mind having extra seeds of things either. It's not a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to disable the plow by activating it. And then I'm going to throw the pumpkin seeds in here first. And let's go with that. So I'm just going to do a little patch of pumpkin. And you'll see that starting to happen right around here. I'll show you in a second. Yep, there's the pumpkin patch. So I'm just going to keep going in the same general area so it's a little easier to keep track of. Okay. And there is a pretty good start for the pumpkins. Let me see if I can get some over here on that edge. And let's check on the total amount of seeds. We still have plenty of seeds, so I'm going to keep going a little farther inwards. Okay. And then let's try another row. How about? This is obviously more efficient than manually planting. Frankly, I think the planter is the biggest time saver of the 3 steps, although the plow is nice as well. Harvesting is probably the least dramatic change. Okay, so we're now out of the pumpkin, so we'll start doing herbs, and this will start coming in possibly in the cracks of the pumpkins, but mostly in this new blank area here. And those are harder to see. Those are these little guys right down there. So they're happening. They're just a lot harder to see. And we have a ton of seeds. Ooh. And gravity is trying to pull my cart this direction. And we're getting lag again. Probably the biggest flaw of this game is the fact that the physics engine gets a little bit clunky, or clangy as some people would say. Clang is sort of the nickname for when physics objects start going crazy. Well, that's not working. Let me try this. I did a little landscaping between episodes, by the way. Okay, there we go. I tried to flatten some of this area over here out, for example. Ran into a couple setbacks along the way, but such is life. And I also did, I tried to fill in, there was like a big old divot right over here that I tried to fill in as best I could. I might go ahead and manually plant some in the difficult to reach areas. Yeah, there we go. Just trying to get as much of this land used as I can. There we go. I mean, ideally, we wouldn't even have a farming plot in this shape. It is not an efficient shape for farming. I might modify the shape of this plot at some point to make it a little bit more efficient for farming. Like a square with accessible sides would be a lot more efficient, I think. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's see if I can get some more here. Why can't I, there we go. I'll just pull it backwards a little bit here. And this works, like, the nice thing about the planter is it works no matter what direction it's moving in, so it can move backwards, forwards, or sideways, and it will still plant as long as it touches ground that has been plowed and that's empty and that is sufficiently far away from another crop. Yeah, definitely gonna have extra herb seeds at the end of this. I've been storing extra seeds in the granary in a seed barrel, and I've been trying hard to keep my food, actual harvested food, in storage crates, which is a vanilla storage item that is, I think it holds 21 slots of something. And then if things are stackable, it holds quite a, you know, the total amount that it holds is quite a bit. So in the context of herbs, probably stacks in groups of 30, so I can get a good amount of herbs in there, theoretically. But the seeds I just put in barrels for now. I like having extra seeds on hand. Some people would like to not have seeds per se and just focus on the actual crop and not necessarily store seeds. And I'm generally that way too. Like, I would rather have the crop itself because you can always turn the crop into seeds. But it's nice to have a few extra seeds on hand just in case you run out, or you inadvertently, maybe you have your stuff get stolen or something. Okay, so I'm running low on inventory space as well, but I think I've pretty well planted this field. Let me get up close and just kind of do a little bit of hand planting to finish this out. Just get the little gaps that the planter missed. These pumpkin seeds are large, keep in mind, so oftentimes there's hidden space in between where the pumpkins were planted. Same with cabbage and berries. Berries have those sprawling root systems, after all. Okay. And making progress here. All right. Probably hear my mouse clicking feverishly in the background. Okay. All right. Well, I feel like I'm gonna get pretty much most of these seeds in. I way overdid it in my seed production. I would say you need, for a field this size, you probably need a total of 30 seeds, and I made 30 herb seeds plus 10 pumpkin seeds. So I bet you I'll have 10 left over. Still getting a lot of server lag issues, pushing me around a little bit. It's kind of weird and a little disconcerting. Yeah, there's tons of these little gaps in between the pumpkins. And that's maybe one drawback of the auto planters. It's not quite as precise in terms of spacing as it could be. Okay. Yeah, we're getting pretty low on the seeds, I think. At least the ones in my hands. But we are getting a very efficient field here. Okay. So I think I'm going to be done with the seed planting here in just a moment. I'm just kind of intuiting where I think there might be some space for another seed. Just eyeballing it. In the vanilla game, you can craft seeds for herbs. So this is not a modded crop. The modded crops in this server are berries and mushrooms. And that also includes roots for the berry plants, which are used in a lot of recipes. So the berry harvest also give us those roots. I never run short on roots. And frankly, the mushrooms are just as valuable as the berries. They're just a little bit less efficient overall. They don't grow back automatically, and the berries also give you both the berry and the root if you harvest everything, which gives you twice as much income if you sell it all. So it's that's why the berries are so profitable. Okay, so I think I feel pretty good about this field now. Let's I just kind of finish this out on my way back. Yeah, there's surprisingly large gaps like here. Yeah, there we go. So there's plenty of room for all these extra herb plants in here. And every time I plant a seed, each seed, you know, might have cost a 1/5 of the raw plant. So you're basically just increasing the total amount of the underlying plant that gave you the seed by harvesting as much as possible. So that's where the value of farming in this game comes in. I'd like to use up this stack of seeds that I have right now. Boy, I'm getting a lot of lag. I wonder if the server is about to crash again. Very worried about that. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then let me grab the rest of these out of here. See if I can use this one up too. Ooh. A lot of lag. I don't like that, but there's a lot of players on right now, so anything that somebody does in this world that taxes the system a little bit is going to create that. Okay, and I did use that up. So I'm going to go back to the granary now and store all of my seeds. And we're going to get a nice crop of pumpkins and herbs in the next little sign that says granary. In the next harvest. Extra wheat. Ooh, actually, I'm going to take all that wheat. And that's my meat barrel. Here's my seeds, some of them. Flour in that one. I might take that flour. And let's put this more seeds in there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab my millstone. Millstones are very easy to create. I think you can... No, you have to use a crafting table. But they're very easy. Similar to this guy, but it's for millstone. This guy right here. So you need 4 stone and a round timber. So actually, if I really wanted to, I could create a new one or two. Okay, so I gave myself 4 stone there. And... temporarily put that in my inventory. Okay, and so that's going to create another one. Now I do have an extra one back here, yes. But, yeah, and I'll have the other one in the crafting table for later. So I'll go ahead and just take what I have. Now this process is the process of using a windmill to create your flour rather than the quern, the hand mill. So what you got to do is you got to go up to one of these guys and you got to place the mechanical coarse millstone tool head, and then you want to fill this guy with flour. Same with this one. And unfortunately my total amount of flour is not close to even, so I'm going to take about 4 of these out, put them over here. So that gives us almost a full row and a full row there. So that'll be pretty close. So these guys work very fast. Now they do wear down. These wear down over time. And theoretically somebody could come along and take them fairly easily. Okay. So... almost done there, and getting there on that one as well. So, you know, this process is, it does use up the wheat in large amounts, but it creates a lot of flour. Or I should say it creates, I don't know, 1 flour per 15 wheat or something, or something. I can't remember the exact conversion ratio. But this is all the flour we got from a whole thing of wheat, so whatever that works out to be. By the way, if you leave these stones in there, I believe they stop losing durability, unless they're actually grinding something. We also use them to grind gold from gold ore. And that goes a lot faster than one of these things. Put it that way. Okay, so now that we have our flour, we'll go to the kitchen nook of our granary. And we can put all this flour in there if we wanted to. And each one of these gives us 4 bread. So we can get a shit ton of bread. We'll do 37 for now. There'll be tons of flour left over as well. I'll probably put the flour in a barrel. But ultimately we're creating these bread, which is one of the easiest ways to create a decent food. It's not the best food in the game, but it's a decent food. So tons of wheat left over there, which I'm going to keep in storage. Actually, I have 2 full boxes of wheat. Almost a full box of berries. Almost 2 full boxes of berries. Not quite a full box of pumpkins. Coming along on the lettuce. Need quite a few herbs yet. Root's doing pretty well. Mushroom's doing okay. And the bread is the only processed food I store up here. So as you can see, this is chugging along. And I can take all that and put it up here in this box. And theoretically, I'll come pretty close to filling that, I think, with... In fact, I might overflow that thing. I think I need to click it about 75 times. Let's do that. I think that'll give me a ton of bread. Yeah, I'll almost certainly overflow this box from this harvest alone. And it does take a while to cook. All these foods on these shelves, by the way, for decoration. Now, they you know, we could use them if we wanted to. And they don't spoil up there. I mean, if you put bread on a shelf for that long, it would eventually mold. But, not in this game. That's one of the interesting mechanics of the Terraformacraft game that I'm so fond of. The Minecraft modded system. Okay, well, while that's going, I need to remember that's going, but let's show you one other thing real quick. The automatic ore crusher, or the wind-powered ore crusher. So, windmill comes down here with, you know, these are the mechanical shaft, and it converts it in a down conversion, what's it called, a framed vertical mechanical joint up, I guess is what it's called, and then it goes over to here. And then we would put the ore in here, and this is the the thing that wears down over time. 700 kilograms, nice. Does everything in this game have weight? Yeah, I guess so. 100 kilograms for 15 sticks? That seems excessive. Yeah, anyway. So then it converts it into this ground ore. Uses a little bit of this over time. But we put 5 ore in, and we're going to get 10 bagged 10 ground 10. Alright. And we'll just leave that in there. It's not going to wear down at all while it's not processing ore. The nice thing about that one is there's no fuel, so you don't have to worry about it going crazy with fuel. You might want to keep your eye on it, though, because if you don't take the stuff out, the thieves will come around and steal it. Okay, so let's go back to the granary, see how we're doing on our bread. Coming along, it's still got a ways to go, but we're now officially full on that. Actually want to make one of these real quick. I think that it might be important if our castle is ever sieged for us to have a stockpile of bread in the main keep. And actually, all of this food really should be in the main keep. This granary should be in the main keep, so eventually I might move it over there. But for now, I'm just going to put some bread over there. Keep that door open to remind myself that it's cooking. I added this little section of wall and door. There's unfortunately there's this little sliver there I don't like, but should keep some prowlers out. Gets us down to this alley, and we would have to work pretty hard to get up to there from here, but it goes around like this up to our ore processing area, and then this is something that we're building, and I'll tell you about that in a second. I had to get rid of some of this, which was down there, to make room for this walkway, so I need to figure out a way to connect these two. That's going to be a creative task. But this guy now, I've added this drawbridge. There it is. Okay, so the drawbridge goes down like this and connects to this road here. There's some talk on the server of requiring people to keep their roads open, and if they do that, we're gonna have to change up how we secure this area. We're gonna have to really focus on getting this keep going, because right now my keep is essentially, you know, if you kind of follow my cursor, it's basically this area here, and then, you know, kind of this area here, I guess. This is mostly the mountain. So, you know, anyway, so the keep can go into that pretty easily, but the road goes along there. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'd like to go over here. I guess I'll have to open that door. I'm like trying to find a way to get there without opening that door. This is my bed chamber still. Don't have any plans to change this. Don't throw my money in this chest. I went ahead and consolidated all my money, so now this is all I've got. 134, 136 and 3/4 roughly. I took it all out of that. This is King Barrio's bed, and this is my bed and our sitting couch. I love that. I've been periodically placing random weapons here. I guess I can put that on. I ended up using my steel shovel. I inadvertently cooked it into whatchamacallit, and I didn't replace it. So what you want to do with these bags is you want to cook them. This is iron, so I'm going to cook. Alright, theoretically it's going to continue making charcoal. And seems to be a little slow on the uptick there. Alright. It bugs out a little bit when you come back from it. But we're just converting this these bags into metal. And then eventually what we would do is we would take the metal. Now in this case I need to make a shovel. But otherwise I'm just storing it, so don't get too excited. Okay. There, that's what I need. Okay. Perfect. Now, check on this. Go ahead and douse that fire. We'll come back and work on that some more and just... Ooh, we're getting a lot of lag. I really hope the server doesn't crash now, because we have a lot of work that we put into this that would be lost if it did crash. I'm just gonna wait for the rest of these breads to finish. I like that there's charcoal reserve here, though. Okay. Well, I guess I can tell you while we're waiting on this. I got my vacuum set up to automatically, I can have my smart home device, Amazon Echo, tell it to start vacuuming, and it will. So that was my big accomplishment for the day. Almost done here. I feel like I'm waiting for the New Year's time ball to drop. Alright. Well, one more. I almost eyeballed that bread making, the totals that I would need. Okay, so we'll definitely want to douse that. Get all that bread. And we do have a full thing of it upstairs, so I'm fine with that. Maybe I should put like one stack in a barrel somewhere. Okay. Now we're going to come over here and work on... By the way, I put a berry patch here. The dirt was already here. I put the berry patch there so I could constantly have regenerating berries. Just for, you know, taxes or whatever I wanted to use it for. So now let's continue this. So light that back up and let's get... Okay. 7, so I'll do 14. I did 15. So I'll do 16, and then I'll throw another bag in. And this furnace is going through this fuel relatively fast, so I do want to switch to charcoal at some point. But we're going to need that charcoal for steel as well. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can do 5 charcoals with that. And then... Okay, that's my last bag of iron, so I'll do 2 of those. And then it's going to want me to do this other 10. I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Do I have any more? Yeah, I've got one more bag of 10. And unfortunately, I don't have enough copper to make anything out of, so... Okay, and that should finish us up. I guess I can put sticks in there, but I'm gonna save the sticks for my building. Eat that root. I guess I could burn the planks, but they're probably more useful in my inventory, to be honest. Okay, so we're basically just creating some more charcoal there. And then now what I can do is I've got about 36 iron, so I can make quite a bit of steel, 18 steel theoretically. I'll do 12. Okay, so while that's going, I'm going to take one stack of this charcoal and put it in here so that it always has that. Get that refreshed as well. So that's going to be a fairly high functioning furnace. And then let's find a good place to store this bread. This is like my emergency food reserves. Should I put it in here? This is like a cellar almost. This could be my like super secret secure storage room. Okay. I'm going to keep a stack for my own hunger needs. Obviously, I'm getting a little hungry. Okay. So that'll be like my emergency food storage if I'm ever besieged. I guess. Boy, we're getting a lot of rubber banding server lag right now. I'm very concerned that we might have an issue. But we'll just keep pushing forward. I'll probably end the stream in about 10 or 15, 20 minutes once we start building a little bit. Not planning on sticking around the whole night. Just long enough to give you a taste and kind of tour the area. Okay, and this is the last steel that we decided to make. So douse that, get our metals, and that's a good outcome for our steel. So I just did a little iron mining off camera, just up randomly. So I've been storing all of my ingots in this. I fill it out so it has one per little stack, so it looks nice. There's a little Z buffering in some of these. But then I just manually place things in there after that. So I have quite a bit of iron, as you can see, because these are all full up to this one. And my 10 is coming along nicely. Well, kind of. Not really. Copper's doing okay. Yeah, copper's up to there. Bronze is not that good, but getting there. So I have a decent amount of metal stored. This is timbers, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's good. I feel good about that. I feel good about the food. Okay, let's go do a little bit of building. So here's the deal. This is my barbican. This is my main gate of the keep. And actually, some people would say this is not a barbican because it is not on the outer wall, and the barbican has to be on the outer wall, but it looks like a barbican, acts like a barbican. Okay, finally that's going up. That bugged out for a second. Oh, by the way, let me show you this. This is okay. Yeah, I have the feeling the server is really trying really hard right now. Wow, I've never experienced this before. I'm like being moved around like a ghost. Okay. Yeah, I might just want to not do anything substantive right now, because I feel like a crash is imminent. I think it's trying to fix my position. Okay, are we good? Okay. Well, so I built this. Actually, Barrio built this, but he only had one central block, and then this was the other curvy part. But I extended it, so I had to delete this entire side, extend it over one, so we have 2 doors now. We have 2 arch blocks, and we have 2 stairs instead of just one, and then I rebuilt that entire side. So that was quite the project, but it was needed to make the drawbridge fit, and I think it looks a lot better and feels a lot better, and probably should have done that to begin with, but you know, he was probably just experimenting with hoardings and whatnot. So it looks pretty nice. You can see the stuff over there. You can see our towers that we were working on last time. By the way, I made this small one, I think off camera. Not sure what I'm going to do with the roof on this yet. Still thinking about that one. But this is basically as tall as this is going to get for now. Anyway, when you come in, this is the drawbridge again. There's a second story, which I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do with over on this side, because this side's empty. Could be a room for somebody, or it could be like a barracks. But for now, I've decided this can be the library. So what I've done is I put a couple of research stands in here, this one as well. And I found this king statue schematic, so I went ahead and copied it a bunch of times. As far as I know, I'm the only person in the world who's found that so far. Found a bunch of these vellum with ink, so I have a ton of ink and vellum. And then I have recipes for almost every single technology in the game in these chests that I found while adventuring. You use the scribe's map to find those. So that's going to be my library. I'm going to work on that some more, but I have pretty much all of the knowledge that I'm going to want for that. I guess I should go through and make sure I have at least one of every schematic in there. Okay, so theoretically though, this is the 3rd floor, this is the 2nd floor, probably a barracks and the library. And I put these timbers there. Then if you were to just simply cut, and then I don't know what I'm going to do down here. These could be barracks too, for all I know. I don't really know. Or a dungeon I could dig down. Like this could lead to a dungeon down here somehow. Not sure exactly how I would do it. Maybe I'd dig it down here somehow. But this leads to the back alley, which is cool. This alley goes through here. It connects to the ore crushing windmill. And it goes out to the main courtyard area, or the main city area of this space. Okay, so I like to keep that closed. But if you were to walk in through the drawbridge and come in, go up these stairs and up here, I decided to go ahead and make a platform going this way. Now this does connect over to what I call the main alley, or the main back area of my keep, which is where the bedchamber is, and the blacksmith is currently down here with ore storage in here. And the main tunnel system is through here. I added a lot of this ornamentation around it just to keep things stable. And then I changed this. This used to be a tiny little warehouse for sandstone storage. I put these arches here. I feel like this is just going to be a pavilion, And then I'm going to put some building up on top of it. I'm not sure what yet. But I can make it, you know, 3 or 4 more blocks tall without any worry about structural integrity. Ooh. I do not know why I didn't take damage. I assume that's a server bug. Hopefully that doesn't cause a crash. I don't know. The outer walls there. I want to make sure this is inaccessible, so I might need to tweak that a little bit with the walls. I actually might cut this wall segment off and make it align with this building so that I can do a little bit more creative stuff over here. Not sure what's going to go up here. I'm sure I'll build something into this at some point. Right now it's kind of, there's like a path kind of through here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. This goes to this window overlooking the bedchamber, which is cool. There's the statue of the king there. This roof I added. This roof I changed to be only one angle, not a double roof. And so that way I put this thing up here so we can put like a building. And I don't know if it's going to connect to this or not. I guess it probably will connect to that somehow. But I think it's cool. It has the potential to be really cool. I'm going to try to leave as much of these rocks in here as I can. But this is the main central back area. And then this goes up into the mountains. There's a tunnel that goes through here. I had to put the door there for security. The tunnel goes almost all the way through the mountain. And on this side, it just goes over here for now, but I might make an outside tunnel or whatever I build here. I'm not sure yet. This is just wall work, and this is the wall that I need to connect up to this somehow creatively. But yeah, so going back through here. This is what I was building, so this is done. Yeah, that's just a wall. I gotta decide whether I want to change this into a block or keep it as a wall. I think I like it as a wall, except for it looks a little weird with the current rock. I guess I'll leave it. I'm definitely gonna have to put up some railings along here to make this look grandiose. As a matter of fact, I could start thinking about that. What if I did this? How much sandstone do I have on me? Probably not enough to do anything close to what I want to do right now. Let me go grab some sandstone real quick. Alright. No, just kidding. We're going to get more. I had to use dirt to build this road up. I think I might want to... do... plow the part that's part of the road, at least. So I think that looks a little bit more like a road. And then this can be the rougher area down below. So let's go. Oh, our herbs are starting to pop up. That's a little easier to see. That's nice. Here's our catapult that never quite worked, and our lumber cart. The catapult tutorial is insufficient, in my opinion, in this game. They need to work on that. So I'm just going to take a whole crate. Sandstone I just have been collecting periodically, and our berries just became ripe. So I'll show you what I do with that. I just go through here, grab them. And then typically I would just add these to my taxes, or put them in storage, or convert them right into money the next time I'm over at the money changer. It's not a lot, but even that small amount of berry bushes give me 1, 2, 3, 4.5 stacks. So I think that's pretty much enough to fill up my berry storage up here. More than enough. I guess I could put them in a thing for now. Put them in the barrel for now. Okay. So let's go back to building. wonder if you can die from the drawbridge hitting you. I should test that out. Let me just test it out right now. I might as well. So I'll stand here. Now this would be called an atom smasher in Dwarf Fortress. Let's see what happens. Okay, no effect. Interesting. I thought I might die, just like when like if you chop down trees, you die. Okay, so what I want to do. I want to get the ceiling block. They call it the ceiling block. For some reason, it's sandstone ceiling, but when it comes to stone, it's actually called arch, I think. Yes, arches. So they call this arch in stone, and for sandstone, it's asymmetrically called ceiling. I don't know why. So you want to switch it to this corner one there, and watch the magic begin. If I can convince the game to put it where I want it to go. Try going up here a little ways. Actually, I could start with this side. Okay, actually, you know what? I see a problem. I'm gonna have to put a there we go. Okay, and then that one. Okay, and I think what I'm gonna need to do is actually put a number 7 pillar right there, theoretically. Ooh, that's gonna be probably impossible. That's unfortunate. I may have to rethink this a bit. So what I could do is I could do interior walls. Right? I could do like a wall. I can't even do a wall there. Jeez. I guess I have to do exterior walls. Which will complicate my arch system. Like I have to do walls like right there. I'll wait on the other one, but this is always one of the challenges of medieval engineers, is figuring out exterior versus interior. These are exterior because they are not on the same block as the floor, but that's the only option I have with this arch system here, with this door, which I like the door, so I really want to keep that. And then I'll show you the problem with this, is you can't do anything with this now. I mean, I can do another wall. See, I can put a wall on top of this. But it's not going to look very good. What would look the best is if I could do a number 6 right there. Or even there. I don't even know why I can't do that one. Let me take some inspiration from over here at this gatehouse. This is a gatehouse that was built by Barrio, the former owner of this keep, of this land. I expanded it, but he built the original area. Okay, so as you can see, this is the wall here. And all it is, all they did to make this work is they put a wall behind it and a wall alongside it. And the wall behind it isn't even a full wall, it is a arch. So can I do that? I guess that's what we'll have to do over here. So that's an exterior arch behind the door with straight walls perpendicular to the door. So let's go ahead and do that. is a temporary thing that I'm climbing up here to work on this. Okay, that was a weird jump. So, I believe, if I remember correctly from that example, the number 6 would go up there. So let's put... Okay, so that is an interior wall. I'll have to decide whether I keep these exterior walls or not. And then number 6 would go right there. Now why can't I do that? Okay, I can do that. I guess the question is, do I want that or do I want this number 6? Right there. Let me see if I can get this to work. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's put that in. Okay, so that makes the door frame quite a bit more solid. Can I put I'd like to put something up here to block that out. And I want to get rid of that. I guess I could put another one in. And that way it would blend into the stone a little bit better. Like that. That. And then if I did this and this, there we go. Probably gonna run out of sandstone at this rate pretty quickly. Okay, I think that'll work. That cuts it right into the rock there. Don't want to go too far, but I think that's about perfect. I might end up making this more artificially constructed anyway, but for now I think this is gonna do. And then the theory is that at some point here I'm just gonna, this will be a I'm thinking this might be my grand hall, and if that's the case we're gonna have to think about exterior lighting a little bit more. But the idea is maybe we would do something like this. Once you got in here, we'd start putting these platforms down, widening it out and making it a much more grandiose space. It would be cool if I could keep it interior mountain style. Not sure that's going to be feasible. I'm also pretty sure that this wall is about the only thing I can do here. And then same on this side. Gotta go with the exterior wall. And I'll go with the exterior window. Come on, game. There we go. What I could do is I have an idea. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Can I do this one? Can I do that one? Oh, I wish I could do that one. I can't even do that one. Well, that creates an issue. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I guess what I could do is make this exterior as well. Okay, so if I go down here, right there, and on top of that, as well. Okay, so I think structurally integrity-wise, I would like to... Yeah, let me just do this real quick. Get rid of this table. Probably we'll have to do some more work out here at some point, but for now, let's just see if I can get this to fit. There. Okay, obviously that's in the way now. Yeah, that's going to be a pain in the ass to move. I'm going to do that another time. So I'll put the table back. I'll just put it over here. I'll put these in there as well as that. And then for now, I'm just going to construct these as is. If I get a collapse, that's on me. I don't think this will cause a collapse, though. I think that'll be structurally sound enough. So, in theory, there'll be another pillar down there. Okay, and there's a nice little ledge there. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with that. Okay, come on. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Come on. Okay, there we go. So here's the roof. I could even have this go up into the mountains if I don't modify it anymore. I suppose I should probably put something over here. Just to cover that gap. I'm fine with that. Okay, so let me see if I can get this to work now. So what I was thinking was asymmetrical deal right there. Yes, yes, that is gonna work. Kind of. You know what? Let me just test something out. I may want to modify this and make it into an arch. And maybe put some windows down here, I'm not sure. But this one I think is going to work, so let's finish this one out. I'm probably going to run out of sandstone any minute now. Okay, I love these vaulted ceiling things, by the way. I could build these little guys all day long. I'm using more and more of my control group inventories. Come on, game. All right. Come on. Okay. And then okay, and then this one goes there. Okay, come on, game. Oh, I'm having trouble. Come on. Okay, there we go. See if I can get these up before I run out of sandstone. Looks like I will. Also, running low on sticks, kind of. Not as bad. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, yeah, I certainly like this. And I think this will work. What if I did... No, I can't do that. Actually, I could do... What if I did this? And then... Could I just taper that into a floor up there? Probably not. I wish I could fly right now. I'm basically just experimenting with ways to make this work. Yeah, so I might even think about putting a staircase here. For now, actually, I might want to do that anyway. This might be one of those cases where I manually place the staircase. So I'd like it right in the middle. Why is there this giant red? Okay. Like it right about here. Probably won't let me do that. It is harder than hell in this current game to manually place blocks. I wish I could just do that, but I can't. For now, I'm just going to do that. I guess I could do that. Okay, I'm super curious how this is going to look. And I really should put a wall here. Oh crap. Yeah, I'm gonna fall back down. Alright. Well, you know what? I need more sandstone anyway. Let me go grab some while we're down here. Okay. I love that T button, by the way. It gives you a chance to check your phone while you're walking across the yard. Taking a bunch of sticks there, and grab about as much sandstone as we can carry. Perfect. I'm surprised that didn't kill me. Okay, gate is closed. Boy, it'd be nice if I had an easier way to access this area. Oh, nice. Okay, I managed to find my way back up there. Okay, so now the issue is getting over to there. And so you wonder, what about a floor? These are hard to place when you don't have a pre-existing structure for it. So what I could do is that, and then, yeah. Come on, game. So close. Okay. Tell you what, I'm just gonna... Okay. Now let me see what happens when I hammer this in. I might be able to place a sideways wall to help with the transition from... Yeah, you know what? That doesn't look terrible. And if... What if I did... This door is more complex than you might imagine. So what I'm trying to do is put this wall up there. Like here, except for one over. Oh, come on. Right there is where I'd like to place it. Yeah, I'm having trouble with that. I'm not sure that's going to be possible. Yeah, I just don't know if it's possible. Probably not, because that door would theoretically interfere with that hitbox. So I wonder how it would look if I just stuck with that. What I've got right there. Oh, I'm still sideways. Okay, well, that kind of looks good, I guess. I guess let's kind of emulate that on this side now. Might tweak it just a hair at some point, but I think this is the general shape we're going to go for. Okay. Okay, so that means I need to go out one and do a sandstone arch to connect it to the outside wall. And also means I might want to do this over here. Yeah, I think that looks better. It's not perfect still, but I believe it's better. And if I get rid of this, put that there. Yeah, I think I like that. I think that'll work. I do like the window, but if I did the window, I'd have to do a whole wall here. Maybe asymmetry is okay. All the obsessive compulsives watching this are freaking out. Oh, my inventory is full already. That's funny. Yeah, I came up here to build another floor, didn't I? Okay. Yeah, I've got all these hotkeys saved from other times I was building. Well, I need planks, and I don't have them. My inventory is also full. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this map fragment. I have so many of these, I just don't need it. Same with that guy. Okay. I do need planks, though, so let me go over here. Pretty sure, yeah. Oh, nice. I even have logs in here. Just making some planks up real quick. Okay. So, get my planks. Alright, that should be enough to see what we're working with inside now. Get rid of that for now. Okay. So... trying to decide if I want to try to integrate a window up there. And if I do, how I'm going to do it. And if I suppose the answer is I'd place walls there and there. Let me just try it. Should I place another window up here? No. No, the arch cuts into it too much. Okay, so let's... You know, I don't think I like that. Although, I think I'm going to keep it for now just to see if I can make it work. Because I love asymmetry, you have to understand. Yeah, they're not even going to let me do that. But I guess I could do that. Let me try this. I'm always worried about collapses when I do these reconfigurations. Okay. So as you can see, the outer arch goes along there. The inner arch is there. And this is instead of the outer arch on this side. And probably could use at least a pillar here. Even that might be a little awkward, but it'll work. It'll work. And theoretically, I could put the pillar all the way up, but I'm not going to do that. This keeps my options open for this area if I want to connect these somehow. If not, cool. What if I completed this? I want to see how this looks. You know, that's fine. Kind of a low ceiling here, but... Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty secure. If I really wanted to, I'd... You know what I really should do? I'm a little worried about doing it, but I should extend this one more forward. Put a block here instead of stairs. Or even a floor. And then make this stairs. See if I can do this without destroying my building. Yeah. Make that stairs the wall. Yeah, this is going to be better. Doesn't feel so cramped. Same thing over here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, we did get a little bit of... Is that from full inventory? Yeah, that's from full inventory. It's not structural. Okay. So we need wall there and stairs. And I'm gonna jump down here so I can get my components. And that doesn't really, at least not too badly, it doesn't really make me feel less good about being under here. Still feel like a pretty good alleyway there. This looks pretty cool from up here. Eventually, by the way, I need to connect this somehow over to something over here. I'm not sure what. Maybe even through here I'll have to have a connection. But I do need this processing mill to be connected to my keep. And that might even mean moving the whole thing. But for now I'm going to keep it where it's at. I keep picking up these errant sandstone blocks. Pumpkins are starting to come in. The herbs are in. That did not take long. They've been in since we've been streaming. That's crazy. Let me come at it from this angle. Yeah, I mean, I don't like this popping out, so we might have to think about that, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I love the arches. Let me check it out from the hallway above. Arches are my friend. And then this hallway. Yep, that'll work. Looks pretty good. I might have to do something else more elaborate up here. But for now, this will work. And we might want to do something like this. So... this is something that Barrio did quite a lot. Just let's see what this looks like. I mean, I like it from the inside. We may have to move one of these if we do create a something, you know, a walkway or whatever. But I like it overall. And I think probably from the interior we might want to plan for one along here. Gotta figure out how to get over there. Is that gonna look weird? I don't think so. I think that depending on what we do with this hallway, whether we somehow build it up, or hell, we could even just do that for now. In theory, that as well. So I guess I'll keep that like that for now. We may work on this, we may change it up, but that's... I like that. I definitely like it on this side. Looks really nice on this side. Creates a barrier so people won't walk over the wall. Let me see how it looks from the outside. You know, it looks fine. Looks good from that part. This part might look a little crazy if we don't do something with this. But it looks pretty good. That is a good technique. We used it a lot over here. With the sideways walls. These are actually real walls, but we use sideways walls along here. And that was pretty cool. And same with up here. By the way, we added this king statue. I'm not sure if that was on the last video or not. I did some work along here. I added these going that way up to there, and I added this, and then I added these walls here, and this king statue. So... made it a lot nicer. Once we get the water mod, there's gonna be water all along in here. It's gonna be so nice. And this is gonna be a bridge over the water, water abutting the warehouse as well. Maybe even some water along here if we really get ambitious. Okay, sorry I had to respond to text. Let's, yeah, this video's gone longer than I anticipated, but I'm okay with that. So let's pop in back into here, and let's just try to finish out with some more building. I think I've given a pretty thorough tour of my castle, so that was one of the goals of today's episode, was to kind of go through all the space in the castle, which we're very happy with our creation. Obviously, this is sandstone, by the way, not regular stone. So I guess a good way to start emptying our inventory at this point is to start building out a little ways. Okay, so let's build those 3. Just trying to unload some of the sandstone really at this point. Okay, and then I should probably start thinking about walls. Probably that. Our mallet is getting a little bit weak. Okay, so this up a little bit now. And we'll do the same thing. Same thing over here. Okay, and then got 1, 2. Let's do a third one. Cube. Okay. So now we have symmetry on both sides. Our inventory is slowly but surely emptying. I think what I need to probably focus on now is how long this thing's going to be. So it's probably just going to keep going inwards. I mean, I think I'm just going to have to incrementally just dig and dig until it feels about the right size, both laterally and inwards, depth-wise. But freeing up my inventory gives me a little more flexibility to do some of this digging, which is great, because then I get, obviously, the sandstone, and I just turn around and put that into the blocks that we're building. And this is the main activity that extends the length of this hall. Now, what I'm thinking is, what if I dug straight down in a couple of places in there? Let me show you what I mean. What if I came over here, and so that goes inwards quite a ways. What if I went like right there and just dug straight down and created a shaft of light? I always thought, by the way, that it would be really cool if you could like create like a astrometrical observation kind of thing in this, like Stonehenge, where you would be able to observe the sun as it passes through the sky and figure out what season it is and stuff and what part of the year based on the solar alignment. So I'm building a little path into this mountain that just kind of goes up here. I hate destroying the mountain too much without a clear plan, but I guess you gotta just kind of dive right in sometimes. Yeah, I mean, if you don't take a risk and actually start building, you'll never get anything built. I mean, it's like it goes without saying, really. Okay, so we are basically... I want to get lined up right above, right in the middle of that walkway, essentially. Okay, so we are basically right about here is the middle of the walkway. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this, and we'll deal with the consequences as we need to. But I'm just building a little bit of a roundish, kind of hole-shaped thing here. I really only do this once or twice. It's hard. It'll be hard to get back up here. Yeah, I think this... So it looks like to be about 9 voxels. So it's more of a square than a circle. See if I can maintain that shape all the way down. Hopefully this is somewhat center aligned. I guess we may have to modify this if it's not. trying to keep the same 9 voxels and have very few times when it's not. Okay, so we're gonna get more of that error before we're done here. We're gonna have a lot of chunks of rock coming down with us, so there's a mistake right there. And unfortunately in this game, there is no way to build stone voxels. You can build dirt voxels, you cannot build stone. So once you make the mistake, it's made. But adds to the realism. This lag might cause me to make some of those mistakes. All right. I guess it's thinking I'm trying to pick up these, or trying to hit these. Oh, shoot. This is a little bit more painful than I anticipated. You know what, I should... Can I, No, I don't have the ability to store anything. I was gonna say if I could store something, like put a little chest somewhere and store it, that'd be cool. Well, maybe we're close. I hope we're close. Yeah, this could become quite the issue if we're not close. I guess I could transport out of here. See, I can't even like move hardly. Tell you what, I think the best thing to do might just be to fast travel out. Huh, it teleported me near that hole. And let's just pop down here and store some stuff. Actually... Yeah, let's go over here. Because there are those 2 boxes, remember? The reason I even have these crates up here is because when you're building, you never know what you need. It's convenient to have them nearby. And I'll refill my sandstone very easily, even with just the entities that are sitting there right now. Yeah, I'm very pleased with my decision on this project. See if I can get back up there. Okay, here we go, and this is the path we made. Looks fairly traversable, if that's a word. Hopefully the fall doesn't kill me. I didn't quite assess how deep I had dug right initially before I teleported out of there. Ooh, that might just kill me. Well, I guess we'll find out. Ow. Okay, I didn't die. That's good. I was very worried I was going to die. Had that been like a little bit farther down, I might have died. Okay, so we'll get all these blocks. Now, what I could have done, I could have started right-clicking these voxels, and that digs without creating stones. But I did not want to do that if I didn't have to, because that would have wasted the stones. Okay, so there's a couple mistakes right around there, but back on track now that we have those cleaned up. Okay, well, we've got to be getting close, right? By the way, unless I put some sort of system in here, there's not going to be really a good way to get back up to the top this time. Or, you know, in other words, this might be it. Like, I'll have to dig through this time, otherwise it's not going to happen because the fall will probably kill me next time. Been a little poor on food. Let's have a quick bite. There we go. We're through. Let's see how centered this is. Wow, actually this edge here is right up against where we had ended. We almost wouldn't have made it convincingly through there. Okay, but that is a fairly centered hole, isn't it? I mean, it can't be centered because I'll show you. This is gonna want to come out. This is even. These two blocks are even, and this is a 3 wide hole. So I guess it is conceivable we may want to expand it, but that would be very difficult. And I'm pretty satisfied with how we ended up. And unfortunately, the nature of the blocks, yeah, it's off to the right actually, so it's not centered. But you know, that's not entirely unrealistic. So I mean, that can provide light on our hall that we're building here. So let me just, should we widen it? We're going to do a lot of this off-screen, some of this building, but I thought I wanted to live stream it so I could capture my process and how do we make decisions and that sort of thing. Okay, and then let's widen this side a little bit as well. Okay. And that one. Okay. We said earlier, didn't we, that asymmetry is a good thing? Well, this hole is definitely not centered as much as I might have wanted it to. And actually, you know, the thing is, if we ever want the sun to shine directly, I mean, basically the sun goes... So I'm not sure... Certainly do not have a direct angle upwards. I can't really... I'll have to do some checking around to see if we can get actual sun ray to beam down here. We may have to change the angle a little bit, but I just don't. We're pretty close to the equator. Actually, we're right on the equator. So if this was realistic, the sun would pass directly overhead, but we would have to dig out this little lip that hangs over. So we'll see about that. I mean, that's kind of a future decision. But I'm very pleased with the beginnings of this. Long way to go, obviously. But I think that's going to do it for the stream tonight, guys. So thank you for watching if you watch this, and we'll see you next time on Medieval Engineers. Very pleased that I'm able to preserve this and bring it to you live. Talk to you later.